What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I want to talk about a couple of things I saw with Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder, I was reading an article about him. I started to post it, but it's long, and the headline of the post I could have, but it really, I'd rather just talk about it. So one of the things that he was talking about, he says the monster is back. Right? Okay. Now, usually a fighter has a fight and they're geared up for the fight. It's after that or during the fight that they really feel it. Um, because your last outing, you thought that you still had it then, right? You thought everything was clicking when it was working. You know, running on all cylinders at that time, and then you got in there and you got the brakes beat off you. Now, you're trying to build up the fight, trying to build your own confidence. You don't know what's back until you get in the ring and get punched in the face, get hit in the body, and see how you react and respond. So you don't know. So I'm not impressed by him saying, "Yo, the monster is back." You know, it's like AJ showing frustration and trying to develop a style that he felt like would get him through his career without having to be a punch dummy, right? A punch, but at the same time, when you limit your offense, unless you have like impeccable defense, you're putting yourself at risk to get hit because you're not giving the opponent too much to worry about. But we seen him go in there and handle Wally and got all types of excuses as to why he won it from the people that wanted him to lose. Then he went there and did what Tyson Fury couldn't do against Ngannou. Okay, well, with that being the case, we could look at him and we're saying, nah, he's back. For Wilder, we haven't seen him do anything, so I don't care about what he says. We're gonna have to see what he does once he gets in the ring. So him talking about the monster's back, okay, whatever. Now, he basically, I was reading this damn article, and he's saying in the article, talking about how he wants AJ. And I said, he's back to this shit again, talking about somebody else before he even, fight Zhang. He's talking about AJ. And he's talking about how when he fought in Russia, it was a good feeling to hear the people, chanting Russia, 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 and how, he, everybody's against you, you're there by yourself. So it's like you're on the front line alone, and it's a good feeling. It's like, I like that feeling. And he's saying it'll be the same thing fighting AJ in the UK. But I have a lot of UK fans. I mean, that defeats the purpose of saying you get that rush, right? You like that feeling. But let me tell you something. You're not going to have enough UK fans in that building that's going to make a difference, okay? So, regardless, to how many of them like you and don't like you, they're not the problem. The problem is the man standing across the ring from you. Now, the funny thing is, in this same article, he's talking about he feel like he want $100 million in this fight. Why would anybody, for what reason, pay Deontay Wilder $100 million? The fight with him and AJ doesn't even have the same excitement that it once had. And through all of the ups and downs, and they both lost. AJ has bounced back. Wilder has not shown that he can bounce back yet. But at the same time, the fight just doesn't have the same steam. It didn't happen when it was supposed to. And we already know if Wilder's going to beat you, he's going to beat you one way. We know AJ can outbox you or he can knock you out. So at the end of the day, though, it just doesn't have the same steam. Now it's just to the point of let's just get the fight over, see what happens, and hey, that anticipation is not what it was. Okay, and after all these excuses and these weird videos, unrealistic behavior and demands that people want, it's like, okay, it's just not the same. He's not gonna get no $100 fucking million. Now, if he fights in the UK, he's definitely not going to get no 100 million. If they fight in Saudi, he's not going to get 100 million. Now, I noticed he didn't bring up Jared Anderson's name, and y'all remember I put the post up um, with Turkey speaking about this fight, and I did a video about that. And pretty much, yeah, I mean, it's like they want this fight. They're saying, hey, AJ, you have to prove yourself. AJ is like, I mean, on Wilder, you have to prove yourself. But Wilder is like, he's trying to get straight to AJ. Well, you got to get past Zhang first. And the thing about that is, like, he's making that same mistake again. You know, now, I told you guys in the last video that I made about Wilder and Aaron Anderson that this isn't a fight. This is a fight that the Saudis came up with. This came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. You've never heard Wilder speaking about him fighting Jared Anderson. You know, I've heard Anderson ask that question and him saying, you know, yeah, definitely one day. And, you know, and then more recently they were saying, his trainer was saying by 2025, definitely. The Saudis are like, why wait? And really, this is an incentive for Wilder to get it together. And it's also a way of, if Anderson wins, well, he takes out Wilder. Now he becomes the top American fighter. Now we doing work in America too. We working with promoters over there too. You know, this card that's coming up, that Crawford is on. You know, Pacquiao's one of the promoters. Turkey's involved. You know, all these different people are involved to make this event happen. And this is where people, you know, are not the people that's thinking that Wilder versus AJ is what it was. It's not what it was. It's that steam has died. I'm not saying there's zero interest in the fight. No, there's still people that want to see the fight, but it's not what it was. And you got to also understand, for Wilder, it would just be giving him a chance at something that he didn't earn. You know, in fairness, when he lost to Joseph Parker, it should have been Parker and AJ, not AJ and Ngannou. But that was, okay, a money grab. What fight can we make that people will really, like, this would be a mega fight? Well, at least that's the way they thought it would be. You know, but Parker ends up beating Wilder. Wilder's the one that didn't want the rematch. You know, and then all of a sudden, what's his next fight? Against Zhang, not AJ. So once again, this would just be one fight back for Wilder. Now we can say, yeah, he lost the one fight to Parker. Now, if he beats Zhang, he wants to jump in there with AJ. He wants that payday. He wants that money. But at the same time, right, he's not looking to fight Jared Anderson, like I told you before. And see, the worst part about this is, it makes me, I don't even know how bad he really wanted to fight AJ. Because for him to talk about $100 million, if that's the deal breaker, like, you're going to have to give me $100 million, which is pretty much what he said, then more than likely you're not going to get AJ versus Wilder. Who's going to pay Wilder $100 million? And it wouldn't even be fair, even though the money wouldn't be coming from AJ or Wilder, but it wouldn't be fair to go 50-50 at this point. So let's get this straight. Our stipulation is we both have to win for our fight to take place, right? I win, you lose. I go on to win a second fight after that. You come back and win one fight with a guy, and it's like, you're not even trying to prove that you belong here. You're just trying to take the quickest route you can to get to AJ. AJ doesn't have a belt. It's the money he wants. You understand what I'm saying? And we know AJ fights in September. So this just might be a situation where Wilder is already ahead of time, pricing himself out to say, I wanted to fight, but you know what I'm saying? The negotiations didn't go right or whatever. Now, him being with Matchroom, you think it'd be easier to make, right? Yeah. But stop with this $100 million stuff. Now, I'm not going to say a person shouldn't try to get their money, but How narcissistic and egotistical are you, man, and delusional that you think somebody's willing to give you 100 million? They were giving you 50 million and giving AJ 50 million before you lost. So you lose, look terrible, and even if you was to beat Zhang, somehow this makes you put you in a bracket to make 100 million. Nah, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And for Zhang had a very slow build up because Zhang was seen as a sacrificial lamb for Joe Joyce. Nobody really thought Joe Joyce was gonna lose to Zhang, and not once but twice he beat him. So he was the hot guy, and I was saying I would like to see Zhang on that first card, but then I come to find out he wasn't on it because he had an injury. But so you beat. That's the biggest name on his resume. You beat him. Now, let's see what else you can do. It's all about proving yourself. So you put him back on, and that's what that was about. So it's not like if he beat Zhang, it's not like people gonna look at it like he finally beat Fury or something. Not now he's, no, that's not how they're gonna look at that. Zhang is still in the proving ground section. He's still in that category. But the thing is, we see the skills. So you beating Zhang is not going to, it's not going to make anybody give you 100 million. Whatever the Saudis are going to offer you, if you don't take it and you decide, well, that's not what I want, you're not going to fight anybody else and get 100 million. You're not going to fight anybody else and get 50 million. Nobody else. You can't beat Fury. And he also said he want to fight AJ and Fury. And he says, I want to make Fury pay so bad. So bad, right? So this is why I said every time Wilder speaks, he always says something and then go back on what he said. I'm a happy fighter. I'm at peace. I'm not, like he said before, that stuff with him and Fury is behind him. Like that, he's past that, whatever. Now, yeah, he always said he gonna go to his grave knowing Fury cheated, but he can't. He it's hard to prove, convince people when you don't have evidence, right? Why you want to make him pay so bad if you was past all of what happened? See, and that's why I said it shows you that, man. I don't know, man. Wilder got a lot of cowardice inside of him as well, because that's why I said for what you accuse Fury of, Fury should never shake your hand or even want to if he was innocent, right? You shouldn't want to shake his hand. So when that man yelled bomb squad and you start showing them damn teeth, smiling and walking over it, and then gonna hug him and all that, and then gonna say you was there on business and you didn't want to go there and cause a scene or whatever. And man, listen, you could have just walked right past this dude, man. You don't care what country you in. You ain't have to speak to him, but you did. And then on your very next interview, you start talking trash about him. But you just went and hugged him and smiled at him and all that, the same way you did AJ. And so now to say you really want to make him pay, see, you got too much going on in your head. You gonna go in there looking past Zhang and find yourself looking up at the damn lights. It's possible. So, only way you beat Zhang is if you outbox him. If you knock him out. The only way you gonna get, as far as it going to the final bell, Zhang will have to be so tired that really. And really, with the way Wilder fights, man, you know what he's coming to do. So Zhang is the guy you should be focused on. You think a guy would learn his lesson, but he's so he's talking about he want to fight AJ and he want to fight Fury. Well, he obviously wants to fight AJ first because he's definitely not going to make no 50 million fighting against Fury. We done seen this song and dance 3 times already. And I don't think anybody really believes that he can beat Fury. Now, I believe AJ knocks him out cold. If Zhang is on point, Zhang should knock him out cold. But when you look at, the fact that Wilder's talking about he wants 100 million, if he doesn't get that, which he's not going to get the 100 million. So if he ends up not fighting AJ, what does he do? What does he do? Go fight for one of these belts that don't mean anything? get one of these little bullshit belts just to say, hey, man, it's a belt, and walk around the belt on his shoulder. And when you look at who's who, there's nobody in the heavyweight division that people want to see Wilder fight more than they want to see him fight AJ. But this $100 million stuff, I mean, come on, man. Fighters are now calling out numbers, that they know they're not going to get, but it is what it is. Talk to me in the comment section what y'all think about Deontay Wilder. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hair out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.